Trevor with Meritus Group here. Wanted to talk to you about 3 ways that you can ensure that you're not just selling your assets when you sell your business, but you're actually selling your business as a whole. The difference between an asset sale and selling a business is just simply that. When you sell your business, if you don't have any value in your brand, in the processes and procedures you have in place, in the income machine that you put your time and energy into, that is your business, it comes down to you just selling the stuff of the business and closing the doors. And so today we're going to talk through 3 different tricks and tips that you can use to ensure that you're not doing that when you do end up exiting your business. The first one is knowing your numbers, understanding how your business is valued, as well as what numbers are the most important in that valuation are extremely important. So several years before you decide to sell your business, it's important to figure out what's your business worth. Contacting a local business broker, speaking to your accountant, doing some research is really important to understand exactly where you stand with the value of your business. But then understanding how that valuation works is important, because then you can influence those numbers more effectively. It's also important to think about how you've been running your business numbers wise, because then it's also going to affect how and what valuation model any potential buyers are going to use to come in when they take over that business. The second piece would be sustainable structures. And a sustainable structure would be like processes and procedures that you've put in place that make you successful. So people want to buy a business because it's already making money. It has a client base, it has brand recognition, it has income coming in. Otherwise, they would just start their own. But if you have a system and a process for everything that you're doing throughout the day as the owner, down to your very lowest level employee, that adds a ton of value to a potential buyer, because then they know how to continue the success you've already built. So it's not dependent upon them figuring it out. You've already figured it out, and that's why they're buying that company. The third thing that you can do is focus on your brand. Positive brand recognition is a large part of why someone would purchase a business. If I say Joe's Body Shop and nobody knows about Joe's, and he doesn't have a positive reviews, doesn't have a positive thought when people say that name, that's not worth purchasing. If you say Joe's Body Shop and everyone in town's like, oh yeah, I've been to Joe's, I know Joe, and there's a positive thought process behind when they hear that name of that company, that makes a big difference. Now, they don't need to know Joe personally. Joe could have been out of in the business day-to-day activities for years. However, if they know Joe's and they understand what that company is, that's extremely important. And it can't just be the thought of the name and recognition. It also needs to be the internet presence. How is your website? How are your online reviews? How are your social media accounts? Are people interacting with you online? Nowadays, more than ever, that's more and more important in the value of a business, because if you have a bunch of bad reviews, that's one of the first things that's going to be checked by a local business owner or a buyer or potential client. And so nobody wants to buy a bunch of bad name on the internet. So making sure you not only continue to build positive reviews and get those reviews, as well as you're continuing to post on social media, you're staying active, keeping people engaged, and you're also updating your website, making sure that it's tight and looks great and something that someone can be proud of owning. So the 3 things that we talked about today that just really can help you in selling your business down the road would be knowing your numbers, understanding those numbers, and influencing those numbers. The second piece would be putting those sustainable structures in place, having processes and procedures, have a manual, have a system, have a plan for them, even have a business plan for the person who's going to be coming in of where your company is going. Then the third portion would be your brand recognition, focusing on building positive brand recognition in the local community, on a national level, depending on the size and the type of your company, and on the internet.